Hello, hello, hello. Hey, y'all, and happy Friday. I am super excited to be presenting today. We will be presenting some information that a lot of you may have actually been waiting for. So this will be a great presentation today for everyone. What we are going to be doing is talking about program deliverables. So I hope that as everyone has been on the contract, they have been working on the deliverables for their programming. I really hope everyone has not been waiting until the last minute, but I am excited to be able to give you all some guidance and guidelines as to what the expectations are. Thank you for your flexibility. It did take a little bit for us to get it together because first we had to really understand how we are operating on the contract. So we have that information for you now. It is a lot of information for me to get through in this 30-minute or 27-minute time frame. So I'm really going to ask that you hold your questions until the end because I want to be able that I want to hear everyone's questions, but your question is also very important to the others that are on the call. If you have a question that you can't remember, so put it in the chat, and then Danielle will monitor that for me so that we make sure that we go back and we access your questions so we can share the answer with everyone. The other thing I'll ask Danielle, if we could get started, could we put the link in the chat for the YouTube video or our YouTube channel so that people know where they can go to access the videos. And let's make sure that we turn that channel on from being private so that everyone on the contract can be able to see it without having the link. All right, so what's today all about? Today is about programming deliverables. So no matter what part of the contract you're servicing, we have put together a list of things that we will be checking and vetting and making sure that you have so that we can make sure that your business represents the VRE brand in what we are looking for, which is high energy engagement. And then we are also looking for transformational programming. So we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, so today we're doing a warm welcome. The warm welcome really is my hey y'all, but I have a question that I'm going to ask. So we're going to do announcements. We'll talk about programming. We'll talk a little bit about deliverables. We'll do Q&A. And then we always end it with an amazing quote. I think you all will like today's quote. It is very fitting according to what we are talking about. So this is my warm welcoming question. My question for you today is, how much time have you spent this week building capacity? So let's do that in the case of hours. So I'd love to see the chat get lit up. Tell me how many hours that have you spent this week building capacity. And so while I'm waiting for those of you that know exactly what capacity is to put some notes in, to drop something in the chat, capacity means that you are working on your business in a way that it can grow, whether growth is growing revenue, growing your team, growing your systems and your processes. How much time have you spent building capacity this week? That's going to be very important when I start talking to you about the deliverables. It is very important that every single week you are spending time building capacity. If you are a small business owner and if you want to grow your business and if you want to grow revenue, the way that you will do that is by building capacity. And so that is really what we are doing here with these calls. We're really talking to you about how to grow your business, how to build capacity, how to put some processes in place, how to put some objectives and goals in place that can help you with growing your business. So for those of you that have spent some time this week building capacity, let's go ahead and do the celebration emoji if you can. Celebrate yourself, give yourself a hug, clap for yourself, whatever you need to do. Make sure that you are celebrating yourself because that is a wonderful thing if you are cognizant enough to know that you have to spend time building capacity. Okay, so the other thing I will share with you is really consider being intentional about spending more time building capacity. Because when you tell me that you're building more time, building capacity, I know that you are setting some financial goals, you are setting some team building goals, and you are also setting some goals to get systems in place where you can buy back some of your time. So I wanted to share that with you. Thank you for all of those that participated. I'm going to assume that those of you that didn't answer anything didn't spend any time building capacity, and it is okay for you to say that you did not spend any. I just want to challenge you that you cannot get so caught up in always doing all of the work that you don't build a business that you are not working in, you are working on. That is the key. You want to work on your business and not in your business. And maybe we'll have another conversation about that at a later time, but we'll move forward. Thank you so much for sharing. All right, so here are the announcements. What do we got going on, y'all? So we do have a deadline for October 31st where we are expecting you all to submit your program deliverables so that we can review them, and we'll talk more about that coming up. We are going to be begin scheduling the spotlights. I do have a caveat here. My expectation is that we schedule the spotlights of the team leads first. So my ask would be that Eric connect with Sophia, Dorita, Danielle, and myself, because I'd like to get those videos done, because even before we get to the vendor event, I would like to make sure that those spotlights and the page that we're going to be using are taken care of and up and moving. So Eric, if you could work with Danielle so that we could get those spotlights scheduled. I do know that Sophia and Danielle are remote. They're virtual. So I know that that will take you having a conversation with them about what you would like them to record, so that you would be able to edit those. And thank you to RJD for offering to also assist with editing, because we do appreciate it. The help is needed. Next is the bike ride. I want to keep making sure that I am promoting Shelly's bike ride, because it is very important. It is an opportunity for us to give back. It's an opportunity for us to participate in some self-care and do some exercise. So I invite all of you that are here in the Houston area to join. I will be joining the bike ride. And like I said last week, y'all get to laugh at me. Our success partner happiness manager should have reached out to some of you this week. I'm not sure if she was able to make today's call, but you will be receiving calls this week as well as next week. She's just touching base to see if you have any questions, to see if she can field anything to answer. And then also, she will be talking to you a little bit more about the deliverables as well. We'll arm her with that information. Also, don't forget that you need to schedule. So I'm sorry, you all, let me pause. I made a mistake in the announcement. So the first one was to schedule your spotlights. Honestly, we needed to remove that. I am not, so just so you can know, because I want this to be clear. I have paused the spotlights temporarily because I was, as a CEO, I was getting overwhelmed by the amount of spotlights that had to be rescheduled. So if you are currently scheduled, your spotlight will happen. If you have not scheduled your spotlight, we are blocking the schedule so that I'm doing no more of the spotlights until October. I had to do that so that I could be mindful. I know that a lot of people are just busy and they had to reschedule for whatever reason, but my schedule was stacking up. So I had to make an executive call there. So if you have scheduled your spotlight, it will happen. If you have not, the next available openings are in October. The bike ride. Want to go back to that? Please make sure that you join. If you have any questions, Shelly, if you don't mind, if you could drop your email address in the chat, that would be great, because I'd love for people to reach out to you for more information. If you are on the call and you have not joined our Slack channel, please do so, because we did put information in the Slack channel with regard to Shelly's ride. I look forward to seeing as many of you there as possible. My challenge is that we get 5 people from this group to join and support Shelly on September 25th. All right. the Success Partnership Happiness Manager. We talked about that. Now, scheduling your introduction videos, okay? The introduction videos are going to be the videos that we will be doing to introduce you as a business owner, and then also to spotlight your business and talk about what you are offering in the program. So less about necessarily going into the details of your business. You'll be telling us who you are, telling us, your business, but you'll be highlighting your program that you'll be offering on this contract. And Eric will be coordinating that along with Danielle. Also, we have a deadline for September 16th. Our attorney will be sending the subcontractor agreement so that we can send it out to all of you along with the code of conduct. So those are just the things that we have going on that are on the horizon. Oh, also, I want to announce that we launched our new website. I'm so excited about that. We did our corporate branding. I'm very pleased with the new website. It's not here on the announcements, but I just wanted to pat myself and Danielle on the back, because if you all only knew how much of a task that was for us to get that up and running, I am so excited. There are some of you that I have sent an email to ask you to provide feedback on the website. Please do so. We love feedback. We are looking forward to it. We already know that there are a couple of things that we need to update. And so we are going to bulk update. We are making it a point to start doing quarterly updates for major updates, and then monthly short updates. We are working on our processes over here, and I'm so excited about that. So congratulations, Danielle. Thank you very much for your support. You are amazing. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what these dang on, sections are. What are the sections? What are the legs of what we are representing in this contract? So I'm proud to represent share with you that Sophia Casey, MCC, is the coaching lead. So this is the wording that I have here is the wording that is on our website, and it is how we envision what coaching entails, right? So we envision that we have the top business and life coaches, which with Sophia, I know that we do. VRE Training Solutions has helped thousands of professionals deliver outstanding performance in their careers and businesses. We want to schedule people to start their journey of accountability and goal achievement. Coaches help you raise your performance in all areas of life. Turning good into great. Transformation starts with you. I want to make sure you all understand the language, because the language that we're doing at the website is always going to incorporate accountability. It's going to incorporate high energy, and it's also going to incorporate transformation. Why does that matter? Because you will see that reflected when we go to the next page and talk about deliverables. So this is for you if you are on the contract and you are anticipating, or we have identified you as a coach. I want to make sure that I want to be clear that just because you identified as a coach does not mean that we're going to accept you on the contract as a coach. You will receive notification from us. I'm only saying that because this is a part of the contract where we are really looking for some very specific things from the people that will participate as coaches. And Sophia will be having conversations with those that we have identified. So what are our deliverables? The first thing we want to know is, do you have an ICF, any ICF credentialing? That's important. If you do not have your ICF credentialing, we are expecting that you have proof that you have been certified through a certifying agency. We are also looking for a mock call. You do not have to give us any of your confidential info. You are welcome to grab a friend, grab a colleague, grab a person that does not mind being recorded and doing a mock call, because we will observe it and grade it. We want to know what your flow is for coaching, not just in an individual space. There may also be opportunity for group coaching. So there's that. Also, we are asking that you have references. We are okay with you providing testimonials from any coaching clients that you have had that sing your praises. And we really are focusing on understanding, what are your results? What transformation are you driving? And what results have you done in the coaching space? Next is we will be vetting your coaching, social media, and website. If you do not have this, please let us know, and also let us know if there's anything that we can do to help you with getting it started. It is not necessary, but it is welcome because it is also a way for people to vet you. You want to keep in mind that if someone searches your name, they're going to, if you are in this place and you're coaching on this contract, someone that is going to receive your coaching is going to go out and Google you. They're going to look for your credentials. They're going to look for how do you operate in the space. So it would be best if you could get those things taken care of now. If there's anything that we can do to help you along that journey, please reach out to us and let us know. You can send an email to Danielle or to myself, and we will do what we can. There are also some people that are on the contract or that are here as success partners that offer services that can also assist you. So I challenge you to engage others. But what I would share with you is I would really love it if you have the bandwidth to get these things started before October 31st, even if it's claiming the real estate of your social media under your name. And then also if you do just a landing page. Also, there will be a skills assessment. So we're just going to send you a quick survey that will ask about core competencies to see if you are meeting the minimum requirement of core competencies in order to be a coach. We really want you to be maximized in this space because we want to have the most impressive coaching experiences. The goal is for people to keep coming back to us and saying, we want to hire that team for coaching. And also, I want you to represent yourself and your brand in the best way possible, because that is the expectation that I have for VRE branding. Okay. All right, so next is professional development lead. That is Eric Harrison. So what the way VRE is really visualizing professional development is this: you are either developing or you're dying. The professional world is becoming increasingly competitive and constantly changing. So developing your skills and continuous learning is the most critical part of achieving your business or career goals. Technologies and best practices are evolving and progressing in every industry, making it paramount to apply knowledge. So having a clear understanding that this is about lifelong learning, this is about retooling, this is about making sure that you are staying in the know with technology, but also staying in the know about your specific industry. So let's talk a little bit about the deliverables. All right, so here are the deliverables. If you have any certification, so what do I mean by that? If you have a John Maxwell certification, if you have an Eric Thomas or whatever certification that you have, because there are lots of places that you can go that will certify you for being a professional developer. If there are any associations that you belong to, that's very important as well. But anything that you have that certifies you as a professional developer, we can accept the coaching certificate as well, because perhaps you don't necessarily want to be under the coaching leg, but you do want to coach or you do want to do professional development and you have a coaching skill set, but you're moving under a professional development plan, we will accept that as well. An example of your professional development plan, a professional development plan that you've done either for individuals or for an organization. We are looking for examples of metrics that you have captured to measure the progress that that the people that you have been mentoring or interacting with. That's important because we're driving results. The same thing is also going to be for your testimonials. Again, the focus here is results. We would love to have some kind of recording from you that shows you moving in the professional development space. So perhaps that is even a mock call or a speaking call or a training video. We want to make sure that whatever you submit, it specifically speaks to your professional development skill set. We're also looking for any materials and exercises that you do with your participants. Also, social media and website is important. We are looking to see that you are speaking about professional development on your platforms, because that's important, because not only are we going to look there, but also the clients will look there. And then lastly, we will be giving you a skills assessment, which is just about the core competencies for professional development. And again, no worries. If this is something that you do and you're great at it and you're passionate about it, because I'm assuming that you showed some kind of passion to be on this contract, or else you would not have been selected as a success partner. These are all things that you should have in your arsenal. Perhaps you have begun putting them in your arsenal. Right now is a really good time to be vulnerable and to reach out and to tell us where you are so that you can make the October 31st deadline. Also, I'm just going to tell you, you have to invest in yourself. You may need to pay someone to help you get these things together. If you happen to be a CEO that is working in your business as opposed to on it, that is really the cost of doing business. And it is also how you build capacity. All right, so the fabulous speaking lead, which is Dorita Hatchett, our VRE thoughts on speakers, right? We coordinate and produce speaking engagements for individuals and companies. Our speakers are high energy experts within their field or in a specific subject. All our speakers have a proven track record in a particular directory of experience or proven results from implementing their idea to innovation. Each speaker is assessed by an independent person from outside the organization to ensure all criteria are met. That is very important. So we want to be objective. So we have some people that will be viewing the speaker. We'll be doing a panel so that we can have people really be objective about the speaking topics. The reason why we're going to have a panel is because we need to know that your speak is resonating with people. That is very important. So it's okay for it to be good for me, but I might be biased because you're already on the contract, right? So we're going to have a panel that will review whatever your submission is. So let's go ahead and talk about those deliverables. All right, so we would love for you to send us a list of the topics, all of them. And here's why. It's important that we know everything that you are capable of speaking of, and then whatever your existing presentation titles are. Now, this is important. Please don't give us topics that you don't have the deliverables for. So anything that you submit, you need to be able to have the follow-up to that, meaning you need to have materials, but we'll talk about that in just a second. So any topic that or existing presentation titles, who are the talks best designed for? Because remember, this contract is speaking, we have a very specific audience. So you have to be able to pivot your conversation to meet the expectation of administrative people at the schools, leadership at the schools, teachers, staff, and potentially stakeholders in the community. So understanding that your talk should be designed to specifically elevate, motivate, and so on and so forth with people in the education industry. So then our next question is, have you presented this topic to educators before? And if you've not, please make sure that you are able to transition. If you don't know what that's like or what that means, or if you need some help with that, I need you to reach out, because we need to have a discussion, and that discussion needs to happen immediately. Next is going to be references. So this is important too. We want to know that you've gone out and exercised this speech. I want to share with you, this is not the contract for you to be trying out some new stuff. We don't have that kind of bandwidth. We don't have the area for that kind of era. So we need to make sure that you have already spoke about this. You have vetted it yourself. You have made adjustments. You have best practices, and you can deliver it smoothly and seamlessly, And then also we would like for some testimonials with regard to who you've delivered it to. We'd love a video of you speaking about the topics that you are submitting. And then also, if you have any speaker associations, that is very important. Any speaker certifications such as Toastmasters. I believe that John Maxwell has a speaker certification. Les Brown does as well. We accept all of those. Also, your EPK, which is very important. So if you don't have an EPK, that is an electronic press kit, you should have one. If you need an example, we can certainly send you a sample of mine. Or guess what? Nope, I got an activity for y'all. I'm so excited. Go out to our website at vretrainingsolutions.com. Scroll to the bottom, and you will see at the bottom on the right-hand side, it says as seen as, and it shares with you some places I've been seen, but it also has an option to download my EPK. Please make sure that you download the EPK. So that EPK is the EPK of VRE Training Solutions. I do also have a speaker's EPK as well that I need to upload to the website. Danielle, real time, can you make a note for that for me? And then next is going to be social media and website. And then also, we will also do a skills assessment for core competencies here. I do want to pause and share with you that an EPK is not just a bio. It is very important that you understand that. An EPK shows where you have been seen speaking. So it is really like the highlights of the speaking engagements that you've had and any accolades you've had. So if you've been on TV, make sure you put it on your EPK. Especially if it's local or national or regional. If you've been on a local radio station, if you have been on a high tier platform and you have spoke, or if you've created your own platform, you want to make sure that you include those things on your EPK. And it's also a good idea to make sure that those links are available for anyone. So if you have not, you should load those up to a YouTube channel. If you have not, you should be sharing clips or promos of that information on your social media as well. All right. I know I'm running low on time, you all. I'm gonna speed up. If you have the ability to stay, I'm trying my best to keep the calls into 30 minutes. This was a little bit longer. If you have the ability to stay, please do, because I really want to answer questions. All right, so training lead, that is me, Tiffany Hicks. So I'm very passionate about training. You all know that. One of the things that I've learned over my tenure in the training area is that training costs can take your business by surprise. A lot of you are on the call and you may not even have your own training orientation, onboarding training, or you may not have even put a training program together for your own business. You need to do that. And just know that in other areas, a lot of people don't understand the value of training and how that impacts revenue and retention. But I will share with you that when budgets get tight, training is often the first to go. At a time of rapidly changing technology, training is necessary more now than ever. You need your staff to be competent, up to date, and efficient with their skills to remain competitive in a local, national, and global marketplace. That is very important to me, that we start talking about global mobility and about building a global brand, because we are also the proud sponsors of Experience Entrepreneurship globally, and we will be ramping up and doing more with that organization. It is a nonprofit organization that is designed to help minority and BIPOC organizations or businesses grow and have a global reach. Here are the deliverables. All right, so you will notice that this pretty much does mirror the professional development space, any certifications you have. So if you have a certificate for training, great. If you have been through a training program where you've been certified, that is awesome. We also would like an example of your training plan. That is very different. If you are a trainer, you know what a training plan is. Right? And so a training plan for individuals or organizations. We are also looking for an example of your metrics that you have captured to measure progress. So we want an example of a time when you did a training and you moved some numbers. What did those numbers look like? What did you move? What did you drive? So that is understanding driving KPIs, which are key performance indicators. We're also looking for 3 references that can also be in the form of testimonials. We are looking for a training video. If you have a training that you already have online, or if you have a training that you are going to be delivering, please make sure that you send me an invitation so that I can join it, because I will be observing and grading the training that you submit, because we need to make sure that we are all delivering with high energy, with results, driving results in mind, and then also transformation is an absolute must. All right, then the next is your materials and your exercises. If you don't know, like if you know me, you know I'm big on exercises. It drives me crazy that we are doing this 30-minute call and I can't pop an exercise in, because we really don't have a lot of time with the amount of information that we have to give. But exercises are valuable because they allow the participant to immediately apply the concepts, and also they help the participants with holding on and retaining the information. Also, social media and website, I will be doing some vetting there. And then also there will be some core competencies. Next. All right, we have the amazing Danielle as our admin lead. This is going to be a little bit different. We'll talk to you a little more about it, but this project will require a lot of administrative work to flow smoothly. A strong admin will ensure that everything is operating as it should, right? So what's important here is that Danielle is leading anyone that's on the administrative team. The administrative team has less deliverables. We just kind of wanted to make sure that we were following the flow of our process. So if we have a lead, we represent the leads. The leads are responsible for getting information out to the team. So we'll talk about the deliverables next. All right, so admin, we're going to send you a survey because we want to know what systems you're the most we want to know what you're acclimated with, because we want to try to integrate that as much as we can. We want to find out what your expertise are. Some of us we already know, but keep in mind, we are building this project and putting processes in place because we know that we will be doing this again coming up real soon on another project. So also time management approach. We kind of want to know as an admin, how do you approach time management? What are your parameters? What boundaries do you set? Also certifications, if you have any in the area of how you are supporting the contract, let us know. Also, we want to know, do you have ability to meet deadlines? We need to know what your time is looking like, and then how do you communicate? One of the reasons for that is because we're asking that the admins, we're asking everyone on the contract to have the ability to meet once a month, but I'm also going to share a little bit more with you about that in just a second. Most of you have already submitted your resume, which is awesome. Thank you. We're not as strict on the references. I know the people here that are doing the admin now, but going forward on other contracts, we may have to outsource and hire other people for other things. So we're making sure that we set the precedence that we're requesting references, because we don't want to be hit in the head with anything when the person is facing the client. We want to know as many things as we can know now. And then also, if you have social media and a website pertaining to your administrative duty, if you have a social media and website for that, please let us know. Some of you are actually doing these things as a side job. So we encourage you to ramp up that part, because this is an opportunity for you to learn how to take what you are doing to market so that you could have your own contract as well. So I'm going to pause here because I've been talking a lot and I need to drink some water. Now, I want to share with you what I mean about meeting once per month. On October 31st, these weekly calls are going to end. We're going to move them to once a month. And the reason for that is because the expectation will be that you meet with your team lead once a month. I think that's it. Wait, Danielle may have to quote me on that. I believe it's once a month. And so I don't want to bog everyone down with meetings, because you'll be meeting with the team lead monthly, and then the team leads will be meeting with me monthly, and then there will be a meeting. So I didn't want to have a bunch of meetings, and I didn't want you all to have to join these. So I want to make sure you know that effective October 31st, these meetings will end, and we will only do them once a month, but we will update the calendar invite and share that information with you. All right, so just wanted to make sure that everyone knows that you must turn in all of the information that we are asking you for as it relates to your programming. The question, what we just reviewed, what we went over, so that we can vet you, that information needs to be provided to us by October 31st. We have a hard deadline. It is not here, but the deadline, we are going to make it October 31st in the morning, because that is also Halloween. Some people have things they want to do with their kids. I want to make sure that we get it before the end of the day. So we're not doing midnight. We're doing 9 o'clock in the morning. What does that mean? That means that you need to have it finished the day before or a week before. Please don't wait till the last minute. If we do not receive your information for us to be able to vet you and your program, we'll automatically release you from the contract. But what we'll also do is we'll invite you to come back and join us at a later date when you have the items that we need to vet together. All right, so support system, what to expect. Just to review. So we have a support ticket process. I'll have Danielle do more of a presentation about that. Don't forget to chime into Slack. We've been having more conversation there. I would really love for you all to tap in. It's an easier way for us to get to know each other, especially when we stop doing these particular calls. It's a good way to get to know each other. Also, don't forget that we'll do emails and phone calls. And then Kim is our success partner happiness manager. All right, so we want to celebrate. It is our goal to celebrate RJD, the imperfect gentleman. He is our success partner celebration today. I, first of all, had the most amazing conversation with RJD this week. The reason why I want to celebrate him is that he is literally the last member of the contract to join, and he has turned in everything. There's some people on this call that still haven't turned in all their stuff. He was the last person for us to invite to join. He has done all of the things, and I just want to celebrate him. We had the most amazing conversation. We did our business spotlight. It was amazing. I just wanted to share, number one, King, I am so glad that you are here and part of this team. And I just want to tell you that I feel like you really set the standard for how people should respond to being invited to a contract like this, because you did all of the things, you asked all of the questions, you made yourself available, and you literally came on last minute. I don't know if people know, you're actually literally like the last person to join the contract. So I just want to share with you that I thank you. I see you, King, and you are appreciated.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I am over here like blushing in all kinds of ways right now. Yo, Tiff, I thank you so much, Quinn. I really appreciate you. And thank you to everybody else for all the warm welcome. I really do appreciate this team. And I know we're about to kick some major butt in the street. Let's go, y'all.
Thank you very, very much. All right, so I am going to open it up. Well, Danielle, let's go ahead and do, so I know I would normally do questions. Let's fast forward to the next one. And then, so here's my success quote, right? Promise only what you can deliver, then deliver more than you promise. And so why am I sharing that with you? Because it is much, much better for you to establish what it is that you need and then over deliver. That is like the way that we want to approach this contract. We want to give as much as we can, right? But we also want to make sure that we are aligned with one another. And it is really, really important that we over deliver. That's how people remember you. And that's what I want to happen with this contract, because if we over deliver, you all, we have some stats. And I want you to know that any of the stats that I have on this contract, I will share with you so that you can use those as a way for you to say, I was involved in a contract. And so my results will be your results. I don't have a problem with that. As long as you put in the work and you are responsible and you are meeting the expectations, I will share monthly reports with you to share with you how we're trending and what we're doing. So just want to make sure that you promise only what you can deliver and then deliver more than what you promise. And so now I'm going to pause because I am really tired of talking anyway, you all. Thank you for the patience. I know I went at a fast rate, but I also want to give you some time back this holiday weekend. I will open the floor up now. Danielle, if there are any questions, first I'd like to ask Danielle if she could fill the chat and tell me if there's any questions that are in there. And if they are, then I would love for us to do those first. And then if not, I will invite you to raise your hand if you don't mind, like raise the hand, the virtual hand, and then let us select you so that you can ask questions. All right, Ray, I see your hand. Go ahead and turn your mic on. Thank you so much.
Okay, so I have had a couple of questions. I know that I've submitted some things, but I know that there's also holes. So I want to know, who exactly do I reach out to talk about what's best for this for VRE, because as you know, I have a lot of different skills and different things that I'm capable of doing. And when you bring in social media, all of that is geared towards remote work and being a team leader and those sort of things. So I want to gather the right information to send to you. And then who do we go to when we have just general questions? So who do I go to for the things so I can complete all the things and turn all those things into you? And then who do I go to for just generalized questions?
Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. That's a great question, Ray. And then Danielle, could you document that question? Because we're going to put that in we're putting together frequently asked questions, right, for this contract. So thank you so much for that, because that's going to give us our start. Okay. So the first thing is I was watching it. I was reading it as we went along. Okay. So the first question is going to be, reach out to, first line of defense is going to be Kimberly. So Kimberly Collins is going to be our first line of defense because she's our success partnership manager. So that would be the first place that we would go. We are putting together a list of what everyone has already turned in. Ray, I'm not going to lie to you. Could you give me that question again? Because what happened was I was reading it on the transcription and then lost the question. And I want to honor your question. So could you ask me it again so I could get it correctly? Or would you mind typing it so I can actually read it in the chat as well?
So I'm on my phone,
okay.
So I'll say it again. So we're going to reach out to Kimberly for the deliverables that we ourselves need that will best benefit VRE. And then the other one is, who do we contact just for generalized questions about GRE and what we're doing for as a whole. Here's, I say this while being one of the people who has watched all of the videos from the past. The only video I haven't watched is last week's video, and I've been on as many of these calls as I can. So I'm actually reading everything. So I'm asking this question as someone who has actually done all the things. Gotcha. So generalized questions. Who do I go to for that?
Okay. So my first line of defense is going to be Kimberly Collins. right? She's the success happiness manager. So she's the first person that fields questions. She will distribute the question either to myself or Danielle for an answer. Because you can imagine there's a lot of people on the contract. So she's my first line of defense. My second line of defense is going to be Danielle, because she's handling all of the administrative stuff. And to be honest with you, most cases, Danielle knows more than I do. And then I'm the last line of defense, or the team leads if it's something very specific to their part of the contract. So I do remember you mentioning that you sent in some information. What I'd like to do, if you don't mind, Ray, for this, let's schedule a call with me, because I'd really like to take a look at what you have, and then let's put a plan together. Normally, I would say go through that hierarchy. That would be Kim, Danielle, and then me. But for your particular situation, can you talk to Danielle and get a call scheduled with me so that I can follow up and answer more? Does that make sense?
Yes, I certainly can do that. Thank you.
Thank you. So just to let everybody know, if you have not, it is not that I am avoiding people. I am literally putting a hierarchy in place, because as we grow, there are lots of people on this contract. And I literally need to make sure that I have the team that can answer the questions for me be in place, right? And so my first line of defense is Kim. Kimberly will be doing calls out to you just to check on you, see how you're doing, asking questions. She will be fielding the questions, because some of the things we are already gathering frequently asked questions for, she already has answers for them. And I'll be honest with you, you all know that I have an alternative funding source, and I have 2 other contracts that I am currently working on. So as you can imagine, I can't answer all of the things myself. I literally have to lead the team. So my first line of defense is Kim, and her email address is in the chat. It's support@vretrainingsolutions.com. My next line of defense is my executive admin, and that is Danielle. And if she can't answer it, then I'll be the person that will, then it will escalate itself up to me. So just letting you know, I love all of y'all. I want to have conversations with everyone. I know that everyone is used to having more access to me. I just want to share with you that for my sanity, and also so that I am vetting the information and getting the right information to you in a consistent and concise manner, I had to implement some people before me. So thank you, Ray, for airing that out for me, because I needed to say that for myself, because y'all know I be wanting to do all the things. When my things are thinging, I want to do all of them. So Ray, I look forward to Danielle scheduling a meeting for us to talk.
Same, thank you.
All righty. So hopefully that question, Ray, thank you for that question, because I'm sure there's somebody else out there that needed to know that. So just even putting me in a space where I was able to address that makes me really happy. That's the reason why y'all on the contract, because y'all, that's the kind of stuff that y'all are able to provide. Who's next to flex? No flexing, no flexing. Shelly. We are ready, Shelly.
Okay, there we go. How are y'all doing? Question about the speaking professional deliverables. The EPK, if we don't have that yet, would that be an issue? Like, do we have to have everything on that list?
So I'm going to give a hard yes, because I was about to move my boundary. I was, and I had to catch myself. And I was like, that's not what CEOs do. You can create an EPK if you need an example of one. There's one on my website. If you go to vretrainingsolutions.com, you can check out my EPK. They don't take a lot, but I would suggest that you have one, just to let you know that if you have an EPK, it can be used for so many other things other than this contract. So it is an investment in your business. So I'm going to say, yes, we need that.
Okay, thank you.
I would also suggest, checking out low cost freelancers like Fiverr. What's another one? Upworks. I had my very first one cost me like $10. And then I scaled up. And Tiffany, you have some suggestions too, I think, for folks who can create those.
So the amazing Danielle, is
Yeah.
on the line, my fabulous executive assistant. I will share with you that Danielle does an amazing job in Canva. She's just really good. So there's also that you can reach out to Danielle and have a conversation with her as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you both.
And so just so y'all know, I'm always going to big up everybody on this contract. If I know, so I am asking that we choose each other first. That is my promise to you, is that I will choose you first. And if your choice is, you already have somebody, I get it. But I also understand that there is a cadence when you're on a contract. And if you are circulating money in the contract, the money outside of the contract is going to circulate. I choose us first. I choose for us to win. So I just want to share that. Anybody else? Any more questions? Don't be afraid. Now is a really, really good time to ask questions.
The only question I have is, when you mentioned earlier, I think it was during the professional development piece or training piece, that you want to know what certifications and assessments and things like that we are trained in. I'm assuming that also means people that we would subcontract with. It doesn't mean that I have to be trained in DISC, Gallup, strings, et cetera, but I can say my company can provide that. Am I correct in that?
You are correct. So this is why you got team leads, because they really be helping you. Yes. So keep that in mind. If you are servicing the contract and perhaps you don't have a thing, but there is a person on your team that has the thing, that is okay, as long as they are operating under your team. Remember that you are on this contract according to your company. Right. So according to your, and we'll talk more about that, because we also have some things that we'll have to send out to you, but you're under your company. And if you are your company, if that's your registered name, DBA, that's fine. But understand that you have the ability to employ people to represent your company on this contract. You are responsible for them. So if someone on your team has a certification or has something that you do not have, we will accept that as long as they are working with you and you are able to show us how that is, how your team is navigating through those things. So if you have more questions about that, please drop the questions in the chat. And if that's something that we need to do a presentation about, we welcome doing that. So thank you, Sophia, for bringing that up. So what does that mean? If you are training and you are certified in DISC certification, or let's say someone on your team is certified and you want to roll that in the training, we want to make sure that you are representing that, right? We want to make sure that whatever certification you have, it doesn't necessarily have to be you, but it does need to be someone that's on your team that is contracted with you. Now, I suspect there may be some questions surrounding that. If you could drop the questions in the chat, that'll be great. Or if you want to raise your hand and turn your mic on, that's awesome as well. And Sophia, can you tell me if I answered that question to appropriately? Like, was that what you were looking for?
Absolutely spot on. Yeah. And the key part that I would highlight is you as the business owner are responsible for anyone that you're subcontracting with. That's not going to be VRE's responsibility to manage.
Yes. And that will be in the subcontractor's agreement that we provide you. I anticipated more questions. Okay, 2 participants' hands are raised. Okay, how do I see who? Okay, Christopher, I saw you first.
Yes, I'll jump right in. The question that I have for offering, like for after school program, would that be under more so trainings, like as far as the deliverables go? I imagine the testimonials, the social media, the what that program looks like as far as competencies. But I was understanding, what does that fall?
So yes, your program definitely falls under training. And thank you
Okay.
for asking that, because I know some people might not be very clear. We're going to send a list. So we have a list. We promised y'all a list. We have a list of all the success partners, and we also are going to share with you the categories that we have placed them under. We'll do a document that will have the ability for you to view and share. We'll probably put it in like a Google Drive. Danielle, if you can make sure that you put a pin in that for me. And for you, Chris, I am positive that you fall under the training category. So because you do fall under training, right? Let me know if there are any questions that you have specifically about your program, because I'm pretty sure you have all of the things that we're asking for. But if you have additional questions, you can tell me here, or we can chat about it separately if you'd like.
Because the only thing I was kind of concerned about, and it's not concerned, but do I need to start working on any type of certifications as it pertains to that now? For example, a Toastmasters class, or because I don't have any outside of degree, and it was more so college and marketing and business, not necessarily what the program entails. And I don't know if there's what type of certifications would be good to go after for, because this is all new.
So when we talk about certification, thank you for bringing that. That is a valid question. I want to share that with the people that are on the call. So when we talk about certifications, we kind of mean like if you're a coach, you would need we prefer you have an ICF certification, or we're asking that you have been through someone's coaching program and have some kind of certificate, right? For professional development, we know that certifications might not necessarily be what you do, but you may have a resume that this is what you've been doing. You've been professionally developing people for the entirety of your career. So what we're looking at is an overall understanding of how do we vet that you are good at doing what it is that you do. So for you, Chris, I am willing to accept the fact that you have a marketing degree.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So and basically what you're teaching people is really how to market themselves. You're really teaching the kids. But the point is that that would be a case basis. So I don't see a certification that you need to have. We can talk about these on one-offs. But for you, Chris, if you want to get a certification, I tell people getting a speaker certification is always amazing, because as a CEO, it teaches you how to stand up, how to deliver, all of that good stuff. And it gives you actually some tools that you can use. But for right now, there's no but, there's an and. I said I was going to start using and more. For right now, based on your area of expertise, and because you will be servicing the children's part of the contract, which is the after school programs, I welcome what you have existing, and we can talk about credentialing at that point.
Okay, thank you for.
You are very welcome. Great question.
Hi, Tiffany. This is Crystal Hodge with Safety K LLC. I have a quick question. As far as, let's say I fall underneath the training category and creating a training plan. And so for me, I just wanted to be clear. Do we create our material as far as, in speaking of after school programs, for like one after school program at a school, or is it across multiple schools? Because then it would look maybe different. Like we're training versus teaching people to train on our training plan if it was across multiple schools. So I think I'm a little confused on, as far as the contract, is it across multiple schools, or are we just going towards one school if we're picked?
So thank you, Crystal, for asking that question. And I did receive your email with that question, and I also responded. So I want to make sure that I share with everyone. That's an excellent question, right? So Crystal wants to know if this is just going to be training the class, or if this is going to be delivering a train the trainer. And I want to share with you that the good thing is the contract is not specific. I know some people really want specificity, but this is not the case. This is whatever you are delivering. So it can be all of the things. Our things are thanging right now. We have the ability to do all of them. So my suggestion is, if you want to have a broader reach, and if you want to be able to teach more people and make more money on the contract, then you want to deliver your program in a way that, number one, it can be for students, it can be for staff, it can be for stakeholders. So I leave that up to you. If you build your program so it's only for the students, well, that's the only group of people I can put you in front of. But if you build it for staff, then we can do that. Once you build a general backbone of your program, you should be able to tweak it according to the audience. What does that mean? That means that whether you are coaching or whether you are doing professional development, or if you are doing training or speaking, you should be able to consider that your audience may be students, your audience may be staff, your audience may be decision makers, higher level staff, and your audience may also be stakeholders in the community, such as parent-teacher occasions and stuff like that. So I know that I am not clearly giving you the answer that you were actually looking for, Crystal, because we don't have one. We need to be prepared to serve all of the things. So the more work you will get will be by the more diverse you are.
Got it. No, that makes sense to me. Thank you.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Danielle, let's make it a point to add that to our frequently asked questions, because I imagine that's going to be a question that more people will ask. All right. I saw someone else had their hand up. Oh, Chris, I see you.
Hey. So okay, training, speaking. Are there any done for you services that may also be sought after under this contract? So, for example, I do communication strategy. Would there be stakeholders or teachers that are looking for us to come in and help them on on that sort of contract, or is it all professional development, training, speaking realm? Did that make sense?
Yes. So the contract is for coaching, professional development, speaking, and training, very specific to those. What I could share with you is just in my mind, because I'm always trying to innovate, right? In my mind, what I am considering is perhaps there is an opportunity in the professional development space to have conversations with teachers about communication strategy. Right? So teachers could be developed in a way where they could do a better job of communicating certain things. And there also may be an opportunity to train leaders on how to communicate. So I don't know if that's what you were looking for, Chris, but that is an opportunity that I can see. I am open to any suggestions that you have to tweak this contract so that it can benefit you, so that you can participate in a way where you can provide your services. You tell me what you foresee to make it work and fit for you.
Okay, dope. I think one of the best places for me to start, and maybe some other folks on the team, is I'm gonna write out a sort of a one-pager of possibilities under these certain sections. Would the person that I send it to be Kim, right?
Yes, and I have a hard stop, you all. I apologize. I had a 1 p.m. Thing that I am now running 4 minutes late for. Danielle, I am going to ask that you continue the conversation and field any questions and at least get the questions so that I can answer them. I promise you all, the life of a CEO. I had a 1 o'clock. I do need to go. I had to do a hard stop. So Danielle, is there any way you can take over so I don't end the call? I need to figure that out because I don't want to end the call. I do need to go, you all. Thank you so much for your patience. I have an interview that was supposed to be on at 1 p.m. and I lost track of time.
No worries. We'll see you later.
Thank you so much. Danielle, am I clear to end without it closing everyone out? Please, y'all don't leave. Ask the questions so Danielle can capture them so that I can address them.
So it should default. So I'm
Okay.
logged in as your account too, so it should default me to host.
Thank you so much. See you all soon. Have a great weekend and be safe. It says, oh, leave meeting. Okay, I can do that. Assign to Danielle and leave.
Yeah, that was my last question, Danielle, is if I put together like I'm thinking of putting together a one pager of the possible, because I know we did one earlier, at the very beginning before before Tiff even put in for the contract. But that was way before I think we had as much clarity as we do now. So I'd like to send over like a bulleted list of under each section what I'm thinking that I can contribute. Does that go to Kim or does that go to you?
For that, maybe send that one to the HCD project, VR Training Solutions. And then I could share it with everybody that would need it.
Okay, sounds good.
We all have it. Does anybody else have any questions or need anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Well, there's no more questions. I'll give everybody time back in their day and have a great holiday weekend.
Awesome. Bye, y'all.
Bye. Have a great weekend.